Okay, so this third example of solving a quadratic by graphing, again, this one in particular would be probably pretty easy to solve by factoring, but to solve by graphing, I wanted to show you a way you can use your calculator. So again, we want to graph the function f of x equals 2x squared plus x minus 3. And we want to see when the value of that function, or the output, you can see the output looks like a curve. We want to see when it gets down to 0. And if you can see, at least this is not, the one on the left is not going to hit exactly on an integer. So it's going to be hard for us to verify visually. So what we want to do is go ahead and graph the function on our calculator, and we'll see if there's a way we can find when this function equals 0. So go ahead and graph the function by pressing y equals and graphing and all of that. And sorry, my video got a little bit ahead of itself. All right, so the way we're going to find this 0 using our calculator is by using the 0 function on your calculator. It has one. So to get there, you would press second, and then you'd press the trace key. It's just to the left of the graph key. And by doing that, what we want to get to is the calc menu. And this menu has a bunch of kind of cool, easy stuff that helps us calculate. So once you get to the calc menu, you have all these different things and more options if you scroll down. You have dy over dx, you don't know what that is. You have the integral of f of x dx, you don't know what that is. That's all cool. Really, the ones that are going to be important for us are the minimum, the maximum, and most importantly right now, this second one, number 2 on the list, the 0. That's super important for us because that can help us very easily solve these quadratic equations. All right, so to find the zeros, we want to first select 0. So we can either press the number 2 or move the cursor down until it says 0 and hit enter. All right, so now, let me not block this. Once we press 0, we get this thing where we have a little cursor that'll come up somewhere flashing on our screen, and then it says left bound. So first off, we have to handle each one of the zeros one at a time. So right now, all I'm going to do is concentrate on the one on the left, because the one on the right looks like it might be pretty easy. So, well, what does it mean by left bound? What it means is you want to find this spot where the graph intersects with the x-axis, and you're coming from the left. So you want to get the cursor to a point just before it hits the graph on the left. In this case, it's going to be, the left will be above the x-axis because we're coming down from the top as we're coming from the left. So once you've gotten the cursor as close as it'll go, which may not really be very close at all, on that side of the 0, then you're going to want to press enter. Let's take a look at that. So you want to use the left and right arrow keys. The up and down keys won't do anything for you here. They use that to jump to different graphs. So where I am, that was close enough, so I wanted to press enter. And now you'll see that after I pressed enter, something that says right bound will come up. So to find the right bound, it's just on the other side of wherever my 0 was. So if my left bound was somewhere over here, my right bound is going to be just on the other side of that 0, and I just need to move the cursor to there and then press enter. So let's see that happen. Yep, and you'll see I'm right there, press enter, and now this other thing comes up that says guess. So there's nothing you can do to make it any more accurate. It's going to take a guess, so you just press enter one last time. So you press enter 3 times. the first time is with the right bound, second time is with the first time is with the left bound, second time is with the right bound, and then finally for the guess. Once you press enter, it will tell you what it thinks the graph is, or the zero is. So now it says right down at the bottom of your screen, on the left-hand side, it tells you that y is equal to 0, so that tells you that the function is equal to 0, and it tells you the x value. So the 0 in this case, or on that side, is x is equal to negative 1.5. And that's all it takes to find the 0 using the calculator. So quadratic equations can be really, really, really easy to solve using your graphing calculator. We could just go ahead and say that this next one equals positive 1, but let's go ahead and see what it takes to graph or to solve it with a graphing calculator. So again, the first thing that comes up is the left bound. And the left bound means we want to get the cursor as close to this 0, but to the left of it. So remember, we're coming from the left. So in this case, now we want to be under the x-axis. It really doesn't have to do with over or under. What it has to do is with whether you're to the left or to the right of that 0. So right now we're as close as we can get to the left of the 0. So we want to, once we're as close as we can get, press enter, and again use your left and right arrow keys. Now we're going to go ahead and find the right bound. We took a guess, and that was very quick, so you might have missed it. Take a guess, and it says my 0 is, stop doing that thing. X equals 1. So visually, it was kind of on the mark. So check out the next video, and you'll see again how we can find zeros with the calculator, and then we'll talk about some other stuff in that video that will probably be really helpful to you with your homework.